Well, Iddy, let's first and foremost talk about Tuesday night and the Papa John's Trophy win, 3-0 victory over West Ham. Under-21s obviously played a significant role in that game. You seemed to really enjoy yourself, particularly second half.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. I feel like we played good football. We was getting it going. Everyone was moving for each other, and everyone was just trying to help each other out. And when that happens, the rest talks for itself, and we did really well.
Yeah, and ultimately come away with an assist from Mo. Mo couldn't really miss that, could he? About a yard out, and that's ultimately what a wing back or a winger is all about, putting it on a plate.
Yeah, because before that, we went into the second half. I was speaking to Mo because I knew I was gonna get myself into opportunities to cross the ball. I spoke to Flynn as well, saying that I'm just gonna play high, so just play it in the space, and I'm gonna be running. I'm not even gonna look if you've touched it properly, or because that's what it comes down to, how his touches. But I had faith in him. So I was gambling already, so he just played in the space. I got there, and I put in balls. Because the first two, I cut it back, and obviously he was unlucky. Then Mo spoke to me, he said, across goal, this one. So that's why I went closer into the box this time, and I waited for him. I see him running, and I just put it in there, and he was there.
Sometimes wingers and wing backs can overcomplicate things when you get into positions, because all you're really thinking about is your final ball. But ultimately, if you put it into an area, it's on them, really, isn't it? It's on the strikers to get there.
Yeah, but obviously, because we're playing with not the biggest strikers, you have to be a bit more cute and stuff like that. So like in training, I've been trying to practice my crossing like every day, every stuff like that, just so when I do get in that situation, I'm better with it and more crosses lead to goals. So that's what I've been trying to improve on.
Yeah, the manager said you've working your socks off in terms of that kind of element of your game, the sort of final ball, the final delivery, you staying out late and getting it done, and I guess that's what you've got to do to improve.
Yeah, it's what you've got to do to improve yourself, and it's what you've got to do to get in the team and maybe push someone out of the team that's doing well. You just got to improve yourself.
It's been an interesting period actually, because obviously the first team have been struggling a little bit in terms of results, and those that are not in the side are obviously banging on the door, and those games like Tuesday are a great example of if you perform, you get an opportunity to show what you can do in the first team in league games.
Yes, because I've been coming on the last couple of games, like 70th minute. But obviously it's hard to come on when you've been sat on the bench and stuff, so trying to make an impact. So when I got an opportunity to start on Tuesday, I just thought to myself, like, I'm just going to go out there and do my game and like do it from the start and be relentless.
It's been an interesting season for everybody really, but for you more than any, and Bobby to be fair, sort of in a situation at the start of the season through no fault of your own, and obviously no fault of Dems, but because you're living with Dems at the time, you had to self-isolate, so you missed the first 2 weeks of the season, and that must have been so frustrating having done so much work in pre-season.
Yeah, it was very frustrating because I thought pre-season I was trying my hardest, I was working, doing extra stuff. Then for that to happen, and you lose a bit of momentum, and like it's football. Other people take the opportunity and they cement themselves, so it's even harder to knock them off. But like it's football, so you just got. It was upsetting, but you just got to get on with it, and you got to build again. So that's what I've been trying to do the last couple of weeks and months.
Yeah, you're sort of climbing a mountain from a lower end compared to everybody else, and that's why people probably judge you for the second half of the season rather than the first half of the season this year.
Literally. But it's, as I said, it's football, and you just got to keep on working hard because opportunities come sometimes when you least expect it. So.
Have you found these under 21 games, under 23 games, the regular nature of them a real help to you? Because I know the manager's been trying to arrange these games to keep fitness is high because everyone's going to be needed this season. But from a personal point of view, from a mental point of view, those games, are they really important for you to know that you're being watched and you have that opportunity?
Yeah, like when the 23 games come on and you haven't played in a while, it's like it's very good because like some people can look at it and think, oh, it's the 23 games, like I'm not going to try, I'm going to sack it off and stuff like that. But that helps no one. It doesn't help yourself because when you do get thrown in, you're not going to be ready. So when the 23 game comes in, I've played exactly the same way I'll play if I was in the first team. Try to be relentless. I try to practice stuff as much as I can in them games, but I do it properly. Because when you get opportunities like Tuesday or if it's the first team, you can replicate it.
I think the thing is as well with these 23, often the teams you're playing have got 23 sides, haven't they? You might play in a higher league side, but they're together, so they can be actually more challenging games sometimes than having a spattering of first team fixture players in.
Yeah. Some of them games, because they've worked with each other, they've got their set pattern of plays. But I feel like, obviously, because we're one of the younger lads, we've got our own, like, obviously I'm not saying we play completely different from the senior players here, but because we all around the similar age, like everyone's confident around each other. Like I know when Flynn touches it with his right foot on the right side, he's gonna do it. Or I know when Now gets the ball, if I come short, he's gonna play it straight to Sir, and I'm already there on the overlap, and I've got open a space to run into or to drive into.
Well, Idris, believe it or not, you're the longest serving Peterborough United player, which sounds a very weird statement to make given your age, but obviously says a lot about how players move on these days. Does it feel weird to you, that statement?
It kind of does, because I remember when walking through the door and like all the players that were with me at the time, and like they're all gone. I still keep in contact with most of them, but I just remember like talking to Leo, talking to Lewis Freestone. Like we're all still best of friends. So it's like it's just weird talking about it now like that.
Can you remember your first day? I mean, I remember obviously interviewing you. I mean, you obviously.
Yeah, I remember my first day training. My first day. I remember there was a pre-season game, and I went to go watch at the stadium against some Wolves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Nuno, he was the manager at the time. So I remember watching that. I remember training. I think it was a Friday because Aldershot didn't want me to come in earlier because none of the papers. But I come in on a Friday. It was game Saturday. I remember everything. Like it's gone so quick.
It's ridiculous how time can fly, because obviously you've actually gone through a couple of managers during that time as well, and I guess it's quite hard as a young player to if you don't make an impact straight away in terms of the first game, you have to sometimes bide your time and be patient. Is patience something that comes naturally to you? Because I mean, as I say, you obviously got to play football.
I've got a very good upbringing. Like my mum, my dad, they speak to me all the time. They know not everything's always rosy. Like sometimes stuff aren't always given to you and you got to earn it. So I feel like that's what I've had to do. I feel like when I first come here, I thought like the chances were there, but when you're young and you're in a winning side, sometimes that's even harder to break in. So
yeah, and you had to adapt as well position-wise, because I know you played a lot of your football as a striker or as an out-and-out winger. Now you sort of adapt into a wing-back role as well. You played in the number 10 very well as well. Everyone says as a young player it's nice to have different positions to your bow, but I suppose you want to sort of nail down one position.
Yeah, I like playing centrally if that's 10 or striker, but I like playing winger as well because I feel like I've got good attributes to play as an out-and-out winger or right wing back. I was speaking to one of I'll say my older brothers. Like he's my friend, my friend's older brother, and he was telling me like right wing backs are dire now, like. Because football's changing, it's evolving, and like now people are looking for set wing backs that can defend and they can attack very well. So I thought about it and I was like, yeah, that's very good.
Yeah, I mean it's weird because I remember that Portsmouth game you played as a sort of number 10, didn't you? That was last year or the year before last, and you were thriving in that role, and everyone was thinking, wow, this could be the start of a really good period for you. Did you enjoy that and being able to contribute?
Because it was crazy because the game before that against Ipswich, I played wing back the whole game and I thrived as well. Then obviously I went to number 10 against Portsmouth. I did well. I did very well. But even in the second half, I went back to wing back and I did well as well. So I was thinking, like, I didn't really think about position wise. I just thought I'm playing good football, and that's the main thing. That as a footballer, I'm growing up. So that's what I was happy about during that period.
And of course it was all going so well, and then obviously an incident that could have ended up costing you your career about a year to the day now, and I mean for those that don't know, I mean it was a really hairy period for you.
Yeah, in training I got fractures my eye socket, so I was like it could have been much worse. When it happened I was just hoping like I've just got a swollen eye or concussion or something like that, but it wasn't a concussion, which the doctor said would have been worse if I had a concussion, because you never know how bad concussion could be. But when I found out it was an eye socket, I was devastated because like that's time out. I couldn't see for like weeks on end, so it was a tough period for me.
How did you get through that time?
Getting through that time, my mum literally was about to go on holiday, like a couple of days like after the incident, so she went home. So my missus looked after me. I had family members looking after me at the time, and yeah, that's all I could do really.
People don't realise in football that injuries obviously affect you as a player if you get injured, but they obviously affect those that are close to you as well, because ultimately they're the ones that are going to be sort of running around looking after you. And sometimes people don't take that for granted a little bit, but as you say, without them during that period, particularly with an injury like yours, you were lost.
Yeah, because I remember I couldn't drive for a while. I still remember the first day I could drive, because my car's been stuck here for a while. I was like, I think I'm gonna drive home today. I'm feeling good, so I got in the car, drove back to the house, which is like 3 minutes away from here. I was happy because I could drive again, buzzing about it.
I suppose that's the independent side of things, isn't it? You get something taken away from you you're just used to doing.
Yeah.
It can be really hard to live without it.
It was very hard because I couldn't do anything. I remember I haven't taken cab. I haven't taken train in a long time, and I was doing all of them stuff which I wasn't used to.
And just finally on that, in terms of when you come back, with that first day at training, I guess you're really nervous, aren't you? Just try and get back in again?
Yeah, I was nervous because I didn't want the thing to be like, if I was to fall over, so people would laugh and be like, he's still feeling his eyes, just little stuff like that. So I wanted to just get through it. I felt confident, but sometimes it takes a while to build up the confidence, because it did. Also, I remember playing against Fleetwood the first game. I come on as striker, I felt good. I thought this was all going to be rosy and stuff like that. The next game I come on against Burton as a right wing back, and I felt weird because I haven't played there for that. And you need lots of fitness to play there, and I felt bad. But it just takes a while. So the whole pre-season, I felt like I built the confidence. And now I don't even worry about my eye. My eye feels perfect. And it's just one of the things, you just need to build it up. And like, some people don't always understand that. They feel like when you have an injury, you just have to come back straight away perfect. But it's not like that.